Attention passionate Green Bay Packers fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Green Bay Packers' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Green Bay Packers fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and Green Bay Packers fans. Let's get to the news in what could be one of the most surprising and strategic moves of the NFL offseason. Reports are swirling about a potential blockbuster trade involving Patrick Surtain, the Denver Broncos star cornerback, heading to the Green Bay Packers. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. Is this real? Could the Packers actually pull it off? Well, let's dive into the details and see what this could mean for Green Bay, especially as they look to solidify their secondary and make another serious run at Super Bowl glory. The Denver Broncos, sitting at an impressive 11-2 record, are facing some pretty tough cap constraints after locking down their rookie deal with Knicks. Their cap situation is looking tight, with over $8 million in cap space projected for 2026, which is a big issue for a team that's trying to maintain a competitive roster. The Broncos, known for their aggressive approach, are apparently considering trading Surtain, widely regarded as one of the league's top cornerbacks, in exchange for a first-round pick in the 2026 draft, a fourth-round pick, and the flexibility to free up around $18 million in cap space. This move would allow them to rebuild their receiving core and focus on their offensive weapons, especially considering their struggles to contain the pass, allowing an average of 200 passing yards per game, which is not exactly what you want from a team with playoff aspirations. Now, let's talk about Surtain himself because he's a game changer. This 25-year-old elite cornerback has been a staple of the Broncos' secondary since 2021, demonstrating top-tier coverage skills that make quarterbacks think twice before throwing his way. He's recorded 12 interceptions and 55 pass deflections over his career, with a standout 2023 season earning him All-Pro honors, including 4 interceptions and a PFF coverage grade of 91.8, putting him among the best at his position. His ability to shut down top receivers is incredible, with a catch rate allowed of just 46%, and his EPA per target at an impressive -0.40. Surtain's YAC allowed is only 3.8 yards, and he's able to keep separation from receivers by about 2.7 yards, which is phenomenal for a corner of his caliber. Add to that his recent calf injury that caused him to miss a game but still maintained a coverage grade of 92.3. And you see a player who's not only talented but also resilient. Now, what's driving this potential trade from Denver's side? The Broncos are worried about their cap situation and their secondary's youth development, especially with young players like Mathis, who played over 500 snaps last season. They're skeptical about repeating their success with the current cornerback duo, especially considering the inconsistency at the safety position and the overall team strategy focused on keeping the defense young and explosive. Losing Surtain would undoubtedly weaken their back end, particularly in deep coverage, which could open up more opportunities for opponents. For the Packers, though, acquiring Surtain is a game changer. It's like adding a shutdown corner who can elevate the entire defense. With him locking down one side of the field, the Packers' defense would transform into a much more formidable unit. He would team up with guys like Rasul Douglas and the emerging rookies, creating a secondary that could rival some of the best in the league. Think about the impact on the overall pass defense, which currently allows 205 yards per game, ranking 13th in the league. With Surtain, that number could drop significantly, perhaps down to around 170 yards per game, and that's a massive difference. But it's not just about raw stats. Surtain's presence would elevate the team's overall confidence in coverage, allowing defenders like Rasul Douglas to focus on more aggressive plays. It also opens up more opportunities for the pass rush, which has been a bit inconsistent at times. The Packers, sitting with around $94 million in cap space, are in a prime position to make this move. They can absorb Surtain's contract and still have room to add other pieces as the season progresses. Plus, with the way the NFC North looks, especially with the Lions and Vikings improving, having a lockdown corner like Surtain could be the difference in tight division battles and playoff seeding. Looking at the bigger picture, this move could push the Packers into Super Bowl contention. Imagine a secondary featuring Certain, who's comparable to Ramsey in his prime, especially considering his PFF grade of 92 plus and his ability to completely neutralize top receivers. His presence would make it extremely difficult for opposing quarterbacks to throw deep and would significantly boost Green Bay's chances in high-stakes games. For instance, in last year's playoffs, we saw how ball-hawking defenders like Slay elevated their team's chances of winning. Certain could do the same for the Packers. His ability to intercept crucial passes in playoff games, along with his solid YAC allowed, makes him a real difference maker. Now, some of you might be wondering about the impact on the Packers' current roster. Losing some draft picks isn't ideal, but the upside here is huge. Adding a player of Certain's caliber transforms the entire defense and allows the Packers to focus more on their offensive game plan. With Jordan Love at quarterback, developing a more reliable pass protection and creating more chances for elite receivers like Christian Watson and Romeo Doubs becomes even more critical. A secondary that can reliably shut down opponents' passing game gives Love more room to operate and develop his chemistry on the field. The current emphasis on short, quick passes, especially with the injury to Romeo Doubs last season, can be complemented by a secondary that's aggressive and confident. And speaking of Super Bowl aspirations, this move would send a strong message to the rest of the league that the Packers are serious about contending. The odds are already trending favorably, with BetMGM raising the Super Bowl odds from plus 750 to plus 550 after the rumors started circulating. That's a significant jump, especially considering how competitive the NFC is shaping up. The Eagles, Chiefs, and 49ers are still favorites, but a team with Certain locking down one side of the field becomes a nightmare for offenses. Think about how this would match up against the aerial threats like Cooper Kupp, who racked up over 100 yards last season. Certain's playoff experience, including 2 interceptions, could be the difference in tight, high-stakes moments when every play counts. This potential trade echoes some of the legendary moves of the past, like the 2010 Broncos' no-fly zone, where their secondary became virtually impenetrable, helping them reach the Super Bowl that year. It's a bold move, but one that could set the Packers on a path toward a new era of defensive dominance. Imagine a Packers secondary that not only contains the pass, but actively creates turnovers and changes the momentum of games with game-changing plays. It's exactly the kind of upgrade that can turn a good team into a true contender, especially when paired with a developing offense and a resilient Jordan Love leading the charge. Of course, all of this hinges on the trade actually happening, and the negotiations will be intense. The Broncos would want significant assets in return, and the Packers would need to balance cap considerations with the long-term vision for the team. But if this move goes through, it will be remembered as one of the most impactful trades in recent NFL history, shifting the balance of power in the NFC North and potentially setting up the Packers for a deep playoff run. It would be a statement of intent, a declaration that Green Bay isn't just looking to compete but to dominate. So, Packers fans, keep your eyes peeled. This could be the move that changes everything. The defense, already solid, would become elite with Certain, and the team's Super Bowl aspirations would skyrocket. It's a bold gamble, but in the NFL, sometimes you need to take risks to reach greatness. And if the Packers manage to pull this off, it'll be a move talked about for years to come, cementing their place as a team to beat in the NFC. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YOUTUBE algorithm to keep recommending the latest Green Bay Packers news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, Green Bay Packers fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Do you think Certain II will be donning the green and gold soon? How do you see this shaping the team's future? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Green Bay Packers. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Green Bay Packers news. The offseason is heating up, and if this trade goes through, it's going to be a game changer, not just for the Packers, but for the entire NFC. Buckle up, folks, because the road to Super Bowl LXI just got a lot more interesting.